WGS-TV.
Welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamersFXTV. I'm Double Billy Boudreaux, and this is going to be my Monday Night Raw review for the week of September 3rd, 2012. We open up this week's program with a segment involving Sheamus coming out and trying to put over Chicago being a party town and whatnot, and then he gets interrupted by CM Punk. Now, I need to make mention of this, that before the show started, that CM Punk assaulted Jerry the King Lawler backstage, so Jerry the King Lawler was not on commentary at all this week. So CM Punk, who is supposed to be a full-on heel, got an amazing pop from the Chicago audience. Now, yeah, it's his hometown. I can understand that. But WWE is supposed to be turning him heel. He's supposed to be full-on heel, and the crowd just went nuts for him. So, yeah, maybe it's the fact that it's the hometown guy. He's the WWE champion. Yeah, of course. But they were putting over what looked like it was going to be a champion versus champion match. And I'm going to explain a little bit about what I'm talking about when I get to that point in the show, because AJ set it up where one of the main events was going to be John Cena versus Alberto Del Rio, and the other one was going to be a champion versus champion match, Sheamus versus CM Punk. I can't really recall a Sheamus versus CM Punk match ever. So I was actually looking forward to this. I was really looking forward to seeing how these two would work together, because you got your both champions. You know, who's the bigger champion of the company? Is it the WWE champion, or is it the World Heavyweight champion? So I was really looking forward to seeing how that was going to go. A great segment between these two guys. 4 out of 5. I would deduct half a point for Chicago, not realizing that CM Punk is supposed to be full on heel, but it's the hometown guy. Of course, they're going to root for the hometown guy. Opening match was Dolph Ziggler versus Randy Orton. This matchup was just as good as it was on Friday Night SmackDown. I really enjoyed it. It looks like they're trying to do something here with Ziggler and Orton. I talked about it a little bit on my SmackDown review, that they might be doing something with Orton and Ziggler at Night of Champions. You never know. But this still was a good match. I really enjoyed it. Ziggler gets the win in this one. I guess what was called the rubber match, I guess. So I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one. Great match between these two guys. And by the way, this is now week 2 of the anger management therapy session between Daniel Bryan, Kane, and of course the rest of the guys, including Scorpio Sky, aka Mason Andrews. They're supposed to make anger collages, and well, Daniel Bryan's had a lot of no's and yeses on his collage, and then King was blank, then threw his into the garbage can and did his whole hand gesture thing, and his pyro came out of the trash can. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about these anger management therapy sessions. 3 out of 5 on this one. That's all I'm going to say. Next up, we had a tag match. Rey Mysterio and Cara taking on Tensai and Cody Rhodes. Yeah. I really don't know why. They have to do something now with Sin Cara and Cody Rhodes. Whether it's at Night of Champions, where they put the mask on the line or something. Like maybe mask versus hair, I don't know. And I'm just speculating on what they could do. But they have to do something. They're putting too much into this for them not to do something, not to have it cultivate at a pay-per-view. It's just not feasible. They gotta reach a conclusion somewhere. They just can't have a storyline just come out of the middle of nowhere and just not have a conclusion to it. I really don't know what else to say. I mean, the matchup was good. I don't know why we had Tensai involved in this against WWE. Just really doesn't know what to do with this failed gimmick. By the way, failed gimmick. Let me say it again. Tensai is a failed gimmick. WWE, get rid of the gimmick. Have him get back as A-Train or Albert or something like that. Those gimmicks worked. That Tensai gimmick is not working. I hope they get that message soon, because they really need to do something with this. Uh, Other than that, the tag match was really good. I'm going to go 4 out of 5 on this one. Next up, we have part 2 of the anger management therapy, where it was a trust fall exercise. And Daniel Bryan had to trust Kane into catching him. And yeah, they both had their doubts about it. Even Kane said to the therapist, "I'm supposed to catch him." And you know what? There were 2 possible scenarios they could have went with. One is Kane could have let Daniel Bryan fall, and they would have gotten nowhere. And the other one was I thought it was going to be highly unlikely. Was Kane was going to catch him? They went with the unlikely. Kane caught him. I was shocked. I really thought that Kane was just going to let him fall. But next up, they had a double trust fall. You know, poor old Howard, aka Harold, I'm sorry, Scorpio Sky, was supposed to let Kane and Daniel Bryan catch him. And, well, let's just say Mason Andrews, Scorpio Sky met the floor. And then both Kane and Daniel Bryan started looking at each other. He said, "Did you know I wasn't going to catch him?" They both said that to each other, and they both had like a sly little smile on their face. Which kind of meant to me that possibly next week, well, at this point in the show, I was thinking, next week, tag team? Daniel Bryan and Kane? 4 out of 5 on this one. I thought that was hilarious. The next up, we were supposed to have our champion versus champion match. Sheamus versus CM Punk. Now, yesterday it was Labor Day, guys. Excuse me. And a lot of people took the day off. And CM Punk came out in his street clothes, did not have his ring gear on, and said he was going to pretty much take the day off too. You know, he was supposed to be in the main event. He wasn't going to start off the 8 o'clock hour or the 9 o'clock hour for me here in Central Time Zone. You know, he said the WWE Champion should be in the main event. And, you know what? I kind of agree with him. But, anyway, CM Punk said he was going to take the day off. AJ backstage tried to stop him. CM Punk says, "Hey, I got some personal days with my contract. I'm taking one right now. Check my contract." So, at this point, we did not have an opponent for Sheamus. Alberto Del Rio comes out, and he's going to come out on commentary. And then we get Sheamus and Jack Swagger. Well, it was okay for a bit. And you know what? Kudos to Sheamus. He pulled out the Texas Cloverleaf as a submission hold, or maybe we could call well, I was talking with the guys on Skype, you know, Ashley, Rick Starr, Andy, Big 37, and what I called it was like the 4-leaf clover, you know, like the Irish 4-leaf clover. Maybe that could be the name of the move. And then Alberto Del Rio comes into the ring, and they tried to start a beatdown on Sheamus. Sheamus fights back, and then you setting up Del Rio for the Burrow kick, and Ricardo pushes him out the way and eats the Burrow kick right in the face and knocks him out. Great match. Well, yeah, it was an okay match. It wasn't that bad, but you know, I'm going to go 3.5 out of 5. WWE really teased the fact that we're going to have a match with Sheamus versus CM Punk. Something I really wanted to see. You know, honestly, I couldn't care less if it was champion versus champion. I really wanted to see how this match was going to go, and WWE teased it. You know, dangled the carrot right in front of us, and then pulled it back. Like, we're going to tease the fact that we're going to have a really epic match with Sheamus and CM Punk, but we're going to pull it back and we're going to give you Sheamus and Jack Swagger. Why? I don't know. Because Sheamus versus CM Punk would have been really, really good. This next match, we had Eve Torres and Kaitlyn. I really did not see the point of. Well, Layla was out on commentary. Even Kaitlyn, so-so match. A so-so match. That's all I can tell you. It's a so-so match. And again, where are they going with Torres, Kaitlyn, and Layla? I really don't know. I really didn't see what was the whole point of the match, to be honest. I'm going to go 3 out of 5 on this one. The next up we had Ryback and Jinder Mahal. Yeah. I'm going to go down to a 3 out of 5 on this one. Ryback and Jinder Mahal is getting kind of repetitive, isn't it? I mean, didn't we see this like last week? So, I really don't know what else to say, except it's getting repetitive. Then next up was a Raw Active match. Apparently we're going to have Kane and Daniel Bryan. And the choices were... I'm starting to get a headache induced from talking about this. The 3 choices were: 1, they could compete in a match. 2, they could compete as a tag team. Or 3, they could hug it out. Why in the effing world did the WWE Universe select hug it out? Oh, by the way, kudos to the Miz took the place of Jerry the King Lawler on commentary, and I will say this: he did a very good job. Did a very, very good job about this. But hug it out. Why? Why would the WWE Universe want to see 2 grown-ass men in tights hug it out? It's just boggling my imagination. I mean, what, it was 5 minutes of my life that I never got back. 5 minutes of my life that I never got back. And, it's just something, you've seen Kane and Daniel Bryan hug and then they start fighting. It just falls into the category things you can never unsee. Things you can never unsee. And it's just weird that WWE would actually go with that. So, I don't know what else to say except 2 out of 5. That's all I'm going to say. Next up, we had a United States Championship match. Antonio Cesaro taking on the former champion Santino Marella. I will say this: if they would have dropped the title back to Santino, then the United States title would officially be a crap title in the WWE. Because Santino Marella never went anywhere with the United States Championship. They have it on Antonio Cesaro. They do have the chance of going somewhere with it. They really do. They really, really do. But Santino Marella flatlined. So I'm glad they kept the title on Antonio Cesaro. So now they can probably move Cesaro to a different place, and they can move Santino on and have him do any kind of entertaining stuff that he wants to do. 3 out of 5 on the match. Next up, we had Zack Ryder and Heath Slater. Okay match. Kind of a filler match, but they kind of had it set up on Twitter. They were going back and forth on it. And Ryder hits the Rough Rider on Slater, gets the win. Okay match, in my opinion. 3.5 out of 5. Next up, Vicky Guerrero is coming out and demanded to talk to AJ. AJ comes out and says, according to the WWE Board of Directors, she was wrong. She had to apologize. She did, and she can't lay her hands on the talent. But Vicky Guerrero ends up slapping her twice. And then AJ has a fit and a mental breakdown in the middle of the ring. Why? This kind of falls into the same category as Kane and Daniel Bryan hugging. Why? Why? I mean, why? I mean, they could have had AJ go the general manager out saying, you know what, you put your hands on the general manager, you're fired. Instead, they had her do a mental breakdown. I just don't understand. What was even the point of having AJ as a general manager if you're just going to have her go around and just acting kind of... I just don't understand it. 2 out of 5 on this. Then the main event was made into a Falls Count Anywhere match. Alberto Del Rio and John Cena. Great main event. You know, even though it was WWE's poster boy in the main event role again, but it was still a really, really great match. They went all over the place. At one point, they would look like they were going to go to Alberto Del Rio's Ferrari. I'm like, okay, that'd be really awesome. John Cena giving Del Rio the AA into the Ferrari. I mean, that would have been so cool. But then again, it's a Ferrari. It might have been damaged, or maybe not. You never know. Like, hey, I'm going to AA you into your Ferrari, so then you can drive off. They ended up going backstage. Did a lot of good stuff. You know, here's the key thing to come up. Now, CM Punk supposedly left the building, and John Cena just gave the AA to Alberto Del Rio across some like trunks or something backstage, and CM Punk comes out of nowhere, kicks Cena behind the head, drags Del Rio onto Cena, and Del Rio gets the win. Falls Count Anywhere. So next thing you know, we pan over to the car, and CM Punk gets into the car. The driver rolls down his window, and the driver is Paul Heyman. Is CM Punk Paul Heyman's new client? Is that what they're doing with Paul Heyman now? Since Brock Lesnar only has a limited amount of appearances, they want to give Paul Heyman another client for him to work with, and now they're going to give him with CM Punk. Now, albeit, CM Punk really doesn't need a manager. He does not need someone to talk for him. CM Punk, you know, he's the master of the pipe bomb. He don't need someone to talk for him. He can talk for himself. So I really like to know where they're going with this situation with CM Punk and Paul Heyman now. Because it's kind of the shocking twist of the night to see Paul Heyman driving off with CM Punk. So one can only know where they're going to be going with this, and of course we got next week to look forward to on where they go with from here. So overall score on this week's Monday Night Raw is going to get a 4 out of 5 from me. Great opening with Sheamus and CM Punk. Wonderful match with Dolph Ziggler and Randy Orton. Love that. The tag match with Mysterio and Cara and Tensai and Cody Rhodes was good, even though they really need to drop the Tensai gimmick. Sheamus... I really want to see Sheamus versus CM Punk, but you know, I'm going to call WWE out on that. I really wanted to see Sheamus versus CM Punk, and they did not deliver. The anger management therapy sessions were funny, except when it got to the point where Kane and Daniel Bryan were forced to hug it out, which is 5 minutes of my life I will never get back. Thank goodness they kept the title on Antonio Cesaro, the United States title, because if they would have put it back on Santino, it would have been crap. And a great Falls Count Anywhere match between Alberto Del Rio and John Cena. I thought it was really, really good. So, well, I want to know from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Monday Night Raw this week. Put your comments in the comment section below. Again, I always like to interact with you guys and get your thoughts on it. Or if you have any questions you'd like to ask me, you can also put it in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So with that being said, I'm Double B Billy Boudreaux saying thank you very much for watching.